sure about that?
Welcome, welcome, my kings and queens, my brothers and sisters. Welcome back to your boys here at the Truth Media Podcast. This is your boy Q Fusion Reacts and my co-host
What's good, y'all? Double AF in the building.
Alrighty. So this is a video that we have gone to the depths of the Atlantic Ocean to find. And what we have seen is that there is a conversation being had globally over the LGBTQ movement. Oh, sorry, I forgot about the IA double X, Y, and Z and
Yes.
Z.
Hyphen
So
sound,
so
half moon sound.
forgive me for my change of voice. This is my normal voice. This is how I speak on a daily basis. And this is the best way I can connect with my father and bro and my four sisters across the pond in my good country of Nigeria. So without further ado, I want to give you guys the next episode that is going to rock your earlobes. This is a topic that has been shown on the on many memes. If you guys most notably heard the "Why are you gay?" Okay, beam that flooded the airwaves was extremely hilarious. And me and my co-host, what we wanted to do is kind of take a look at this interview. I rarely haven't seen any breakdowns of the interview where they sort of go over, maybe at length some of the different talking points that the interview went over. What I really wanted to highlight is sort of this was done 3 years ago, but it's kind of interesting to see how a lot of the talking points that are brought up during the course of this interview, while comical in its lore, it's still relevant today as to the nonsense that the logic that's being utilized in a lot of these different forums. So, guys, if there's nothing else to be said, let's get into the video. Okay. Oh, sorry, Aaron. Before I even start that, did you have anything, or I could just go on in?
Yeah, no, just like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let us know what you think in the comments because this is live.
Yes, this is live. We do it live, baby.
Hello and welcome back. This is the topical discussion on the Morning Breeze on NBS Television. My name is Simon Pangangala, and we're also weighing in on the raging debate on homosexuality in Uganda, which is taking another twist today, with questions as to whether Uganda is indeed becoming a safe haven for homosexuals. President Museveni on Sunday, while attending the inauguration of the new Archbishop of the Church of Uganda.
I'm sorry, when I'm hearing this guy speak, all I'm hearing is my uncles and all of my my people. I feel like I'm looking at my dad on the TV, go off, and he's about to really have some hot fire for whoever comes on. This is guys, you guys don't understand, man. This is like sitting in my house right now.
Namirembe Cathedral insisted that, well, he had no problem with homosexuals as long as they did not promote the practice. Well, the media is also awash with stories of soccer ace Chris Mubiru molesting kids and, having carnal knowledge with underage children deemed to be underage. We bring in the studio this morning one of the gay rights activists, Mr. Should I call you Mr.? Pepe Julian Onzima. Thank you for coming. Good morning.
Morning to you.
Why are you gay?
Yo. My man said, Mr. Should I call you Mr.?
should I call you Mr.?
Mr. Pepe Le Pew. Why are you gay?
Oh my god, yo.
Why are you gay?
Fuck, man. Oh yeah.
And and that's basically what it boils down to. Now, again, look, hey, you know, your lifestyle choice is your lifestyle choice. You want to go out there and gangbang, all that stuff. I'm against it. You want to go out there and be gay. Hey, you know what? It's better than gangbanging, I suppose. But but as long as you're
Yeah.
not trying to like, you know, get everyone out there like, oh, hey, you know, like join this train. Like, hey, just like, and I never got it. I mean, I get it. And this is why I take issue with it, because I do get it. Most people, like for instance, I'm very proud of, you know, who I am, the things that I do, what I've accomplished and what I've yet to accomplish, right? But I don't go out there forcing people to capitulate to my views on said accomplishments or set goals. You know, I'm a very ambitious, you know, short film creator. Am I going out there saying that if you don't like my short films, then you know, oh, it's because I'm black, because of this, or you don't like movies in general, or like, you know, like you're stupid or you're a bigot because you can't see the artistry and my short film or in my music for that matter. No, you know, different shows for different folks.
Right.
You feel me? So, but I think, and what I really like about this clip is, you know, it's very comical the way that he did it. From our perspective, living over here in the West, right? But when you go back to, you know, these places where they're not as quote unquote liberal as we have been indoctrinated with over here, he wasn't laughing, he was dead ass serious. Why? Because that's his very serious question. Like, hey, clearly you're gay. I want to know why. And the answer is that we'll never get to it, because they'll never tell you their answer. But I'm 90% sure that the majority of quote unquote gay people can point something out that happened to them in their lives that had changed them. 90% of them. Because I see it all the time on interviews and stuff on YouTube and on Dr. Phil and, you know, Ricky Lake when I was growing up, Oprah Winfrey. I'm seeing it for years. And they go back and like, oh, well, you know, when I was, you know, 9, you know, and then like the sad music starts to play, and you know, and, I mean, hey, you know, that is sad and it's very unfortunate. But let's not just be like, hey, you know what, you know, I'm gay because you know, I just always was. Don't get me wrong, a small percentage of them, I'm sure, probably will attest to that. But then again, you know, like they haven't found the quote unquote gay gene, so you know, there's quote unquote much debate around it.
Yeah, no, this is something that, you know, when we're having these, I guess for lack of a better, calling them tough conversations. I mean, it's I just don't. I've never really been a fan of the whole, you know, shame you if you're not with me movement, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I've never liked all of the different types of ways where the tactics that are utilized to literally pit people against one another just simply for saying I don't believe in what you believe, right?
Yeah.
And I was even listening to I think on CNN. I was just in the kitchen and you know, I was listening to I was like making something to eat, and they were interviewing this guy about, I guess, there's this whole gay marriage issue that's going on right now, and within our government, and he was talking more so about like, oh, he was like, hey, look, like, you know, we understand, right, that people want, you know, are gonna, you know, there are people that believe in gay marriage and that, you know, that's what they believe in, and we want to be able to I think I'm trying to remember the word he was using, but he was saying we want to give them the room and the space to be able to believe in that, right? But we also, right, because I think it was the word tolerance. It's like tolerance comes in twofold, right? Tolerance is like, okay, I get that you believe that, right, but you also have to give space for the people who don't believe in it.
Exactly.
Right. So, and our policies have to reflect that. So
They
there are
don't.
people, and no, but that's kind of what he was saying. Is like, that's the issue that's kind of taking place within our government right now, is that, like, you know, we have to give that space for people that are like, hey, look, this really goes against my values. This goes against what I believe in. You know what I'm saying? So there needs to be a reflection of that within the laws as well. And I think when we're having these conversations, broad scheme of things, you know, this is why, you know, this whole cancel culture is so problematic and just so insidious, because it's literally removing everyone else's ability to basically say, I just don't agree.
It's anti-constitutional because what you're saying is it goes against the right to free speech.
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, and that's why we advocate here for the truth, right? Because this is the problem that occurs when you start having all of these different modicums of truth that exist, you know, all over the fucking spectrum. And
My
so,
truth, her truth,
yeah,
his
and
truth.
so here at the truth, The Truth Media podcast, what we really specialize is in giving you that one clear truth that is found through reason and logic, right?
Mhm.
As opposed to emotions and feelings. So already I can see in this interview that this lady, or excuse me, this individual, oh boy, the cancel police is coming. This person here is already just. I mean, if she's taking on the chin, I think it's because she know.
No, you're right. She does know. In that country, she.
No, it's not a she. That's why I'm saying I'm getting every time I miss gender her. Oh my god, here we go.
Look,
I'm gonna. The cancel police is coming.
I don't.
The cancel police is coming, man. The cancel police is coming. Run! Oh, excuse me. Run, ninja. Run.
Look.
They're coming, Aaron.
My eyes tell me that that's a woman. Now, if that woman thinks that she's a man, hey, that is her prerogative. But until she could at least pass for a quote unquote man, where I'm like, oh, that dude, then hey, hey, when you get further along on your journey, like, don't get me wrong, there was a whole situation that went down with some like transgender Asian dude, like a dude trying to be a woman or whatever, and they were like, yo, like, he looks like a girl. Now, if you're going to go that far to the point where it's like, hey, at first glance, it's like, hey, okay, you could be wrong. All right. But if you a dude wearing a damn dress and some heels, it's like, come on, man. Come on. Like, if you want us all to play in this game with you, go all the way. Go all the way. And that's the truth. Because, look, first of all, if I see a dude, broad shoulders, arms, in a dress, hey, it is what it is, my man. Like, you know what you look like. You got a mirror in your goddamn house. You know what I'm saying? It's not to begrudge you, but it's like, hey, you expect the rest of the fucking world to just like that because no. And I could empathize with them, and to a degree I can sympathize with them. But at the end of the day, it's like, hey, well, where the hell is the line with like how far do I have to go with you on this fairy tale?
Oh.
Now again, hey, like
not the fairy
tale. If they want to go all the way with it, hey, that's cool. Go all the way. I'm saying people would mistake you for actually. Well, they wouldn't say mistake me. They would say they properly said my gender. Hey, then do that. Then do that. But anything less than that, you can't get all upset and all up in arms. Like, come on, you know what you look like. You have mirrors.
Yeah, no, I mean, the cancel police is coming, and I want to definitely say that I'm a snitch, and I'm snitching out my co-host, right? If they take down the channel,
they already been trying to cancel me, man. So it's over, man.
So I'm just gonna serve you up on a hot platter. So, without further ado, guys, thank you, Aaron, for that lovely commentary. But our channel will not survive.
Well, if this is our last episode, then I'm going out in a blaze.
You are a transgender.
I love it. I fucking love it.
You are a transgender, and you're a gay rights activist and an outspoken lesbian, homosexual. How can I describe you?
I am Pepe Julia Nonzima. I'm an LGBTI
What's that?
activist. I'm a human rights defender. I'll get to what it is. I'm a human rights defender, currently focusing on LGBTI issues. LGBTI means L is for lesbian, which...
well, can we pause it right there real fast? Because if you're a human rights activist, like, why do we have to go into like the specifications on? I'm a human rights activist who specializes. That's like saying, hey, I'm going to school for this, but I'm specializing in that. Like, wait. If human rights means all the humans, but yet you're going to go and pick out a very particular group. So just say that you're that activist. Don't say you're a human rights activist. Because again, like I just said, my issue with that whole group is like their encroachment upon other people's rights. Yeah, you have rights. I'm not against you having rights. You want to go out there and vote. You want to do everything that we could do. Hey, I might not totally agree with it, especially like in terms of marriage from a biblical standpoint. But hey, I'm not against. Like, I'm not going to go out and like. Well, I don't vote anymore anyway. But so like if the vote came up, I'm not gonna be galvanized to go and be like, oh, I'm gonna stop them from marrying. Like, no. You want to marry? You want to join in on the misery? Knock yourself out. Join in on all the goddamn misery.
Oh shit! Here we go.
Oh, really? It's really like, really?
Oh man, this guy is
This guy.
ruthless, man. This guy is ruthless, man. No,
Ruthless.
no, man. It's over for us. No. Truth be told, I definitely agree with you. This is we're at the point of no return. I mean, if you watch my, I can't see your camera. If you watch my, or sorry, not watch. If you do follow me on social media, this guy Andrew Tate was funny as hell. And he said on one of the podcasts that I watched, he was like, just send the asteroid, right? Just send the asteroid. So now, a lot of the times whenever I see some nonsensical, crap that comes up, my first thought is to just, hey, look, what I'm saying? I always end it off by saying, look, just where's the asteroid? Just where's the asteroid? Because I think at some point or another, we need to just send the asteroid, start us all over, what I'm saying? Let's just start from scratch, what I'm saying? And just wipe it all out, what I'm saying? And it's just because it's at some point or another, it's just there's just a point of diminishing returns, and we're at the we're at the precipice, guys. We are at the precipice of human history where it can't get no. I mean, it could definitely get worse, but this is definitely not gonna get any better, right? So, Lord, just help us all, man, and it's the beginning of the end.
Women who are attracted.
So yeah, I want to play two aspects, right? Because the character that they bring on,
that guy.
Yeah, I want to play two sides of this, right? Because I know this is I don't want this to be a crazy long episode for you guys today, but I do want to be able to hit the two parts of this interview where they brought on another commentator to grill this person. Jesus.
To each other, females who are attracted to each other, mentally, emotionally, and physically. And then gay is two males who are emotionally, physically, sexually attracted to each other. Bisexuals are usually attracted to persons of their own sex as well as the opposite sex. This one usually.
I thought you were a human rights activist.
Yeah.
But this is, it seems to me, I know you're answering a question that was asked of you, but like, look at this, right? I thought you were human rights, right?
Yeah.
How did this get turned here? And this goes back into, I'm not sure if you touched on this, but the that whole BLM nonsense, right? Like this is kind of where that energy, this where that energy for me comes from, where it's like, you're saying one thing, but your agenda and your bylaws say a whole nother thing. And you've talked about this at nauseam on your channel, and on this channel. It's very clear to me that it's kind of like they're playing the okie doke,
Yes.
right? And if you don't have enough sense, you're not going to catch the dribble. And it's really, and this is really where we talk about this insidious nature that exists behind this agenda. It's like at first glance, you're just like, oh, well, we should just be able to accept everybody. Well, okay, well, that's one conversation. But then when you're saying that you're for everybody, but then you're really for these people, are you really for everybody, or are we really just looking out for the best interest of?
No, but then they'll say, no, we are. But the thing is, this group, is agreed upon or against that matter. And that's why, we have to specify all of this. And then, hey, look, and I said this again. I mean, I said it before, I'll say it again. And this even pertains to like the whole BLM thing. Black Lives Matter, all lives matter. Oh, no, we get that, we agree, but, we're so agreed upon that, hey, and at the end of the day, like, no, that's not entirely true. You have choices to make in your life. We all have choices to make in our life. You know what I'm saying? All the brothers and sisters living in the hood still to this day and I did a video about this like a month ago. It's real simple. You hear all the rap songs from the conscious rappers. Oh yeah, they freaking they putting guns in the hood, they putting drugs in the hood, they're doing all of this stuff, they're keeping us down, and you know what I'm saying, like it's common knowledge at this point. But at what point do you say, okay, you know what? So there's clearly a game being played.
Mm-hmm.
I know how the other team's playing, but yet I keep falling into the same traps. That's like not getting past the first level of Mario. Like at a certain point, you know that red shell turtle is going to be flying through, and you can get used to his cadence, so that way you can either run underneath or you can jump and clunk him on the head, right? But quote unquote black people, we keep falling to the same red turtle shell, keep hitting us on the top of the head. We can't get past level 1. So what's the point of knowing that you're playing the game, knowing how the other team's playing, and then you still can't even capitalize on it? It's pathetic, man. It's pathetic. And the LGBTQ, they're doing the same thing because BLM like paved the way. So now they're coming right through. And not only that, BLM, they literally fund a lot of these LGBTQ, especially a lot of these trans and non-gender conforming, like different. I don't even know what the hell you would call these things, like safe havens and stuff like that. No, it's true. It's true. It was all on their tax returns. What's it? W-99?
No, there's a specific one. I know you're talking about that, but I know there's one. There's a different one for non
profits. Exactly. But that's it. Hey, look, they're running the same play, and because no one stopped, especially quote unquote blacks, said, "Hey, you know what? We're not for that whole BLM thing." Now the quote unquote blacks at large can't turn around and say, "Hey, we're not with that LGBTQ thing." Because they're just gonna point back and say, "Hey, well, we just came in on you. Y'all left the door open. We came right behind you. We was helping push y'all, and we came into." And then so like, it's like, hey man, just play a video, man. Because I could. This is.
It's not simultaneously. It's one at a time. One also tends to, at a certain period of time, overweighs the other. Then transgender is basically an umbrella term to describe people who do not conform to the sex that they are assigned at birth. Mm-hmm. An umbrella term in the sense that there are people who are called transsexuals. They are transvestites, they are cross-dressers, and they fall under this umbrella.
Pause it real fast.
Who dress up.
I actually don't have much issue with how Pepe defined transgender. When Pepe said transgender basically is someone that doesn't conform to the gender they were born with. That's true. Mm-hmm. But how it's being pushed to us, especially over here, is something completely different. Like that's not how they define it over here. That's not how they define it over here. Because over here they take away like basically the choice. Because by Pepe saying they don't conform to it, that's an act of choice. You can either conform or you cannot, right? That's a choice. But over here, the way it's delivered, there is no choice. Do you get what I'm saying? When it's spoke about over here, you never hear any verbiage that is even going to set it up where you can even, in your wildest thoughts, deduce that, oh, that's actually a choice. They're very careful about how they deliver it because they know that if they say what Pepe just said, people are going to be like, okay, well, yeah, that's your choice. You don't conform. That's your choice.
No, and you know what it is? I think it's like it's the same argument with with that we always have about like the loudest people in the room, right? Because I think a lot of people who actually are for, that are, I guess, trying to use logical conversation. I'm not saying this is what Pepe is trying to do, but when they give, explanations that lean on the side of like, okay, like I can actually understand, those are not the ones that are getting, on that are not on The View. They're not being the ones that are pushed onto these big platforms and being able to spread their message, right? They're not the ones that are sitting on those panels on Dr. Phil, talking about what is a woman. Check out our video that we did on this a couple months ago. So, where we had this breakdown about that Dr. Phil episode, right? these are not the people that are having those conversations on the large scale, scheme of things. And that's the problem, right? Is that if you really wanted people to at least understand your perspective, you've got to have a meeting of the minds at some point. My co-host mentioned, they still haven't found the gene that lends one to ironcladly say that this is something that is ingrained in a person's DNA. So if that's the case, for you to be able to try to pee in the air and call it rain for me and say that this is what exists because of what simply you were born this way, not to quote Lady Gaga, that's just a quite frankly, it's an intellectual slap in my face. Right. So that's why, it's very tough to have these conversations in the West, at least. I mean, this conversation, for all comical sense, is definitely going to make you laugh. But, she did give an interesting definition that I wasn't quite really I was quite frankly going to say I expected.
As the sex that they were not assigned at birth. Then there are those who actually go and have reassignment of that particular sex that they were assigned.
I want to get my boy in here.
The common thing, the word they use to describe intersex people is hermaphrodite. But in my line of work, that is derogative. Where do I lie? I'm a transgender person.
Transgender. You were initially male or female?
The sex that was assigned to me at birth was female.
And you opted to become male?
Not exactly opting. It's something that I have been since I was young. But in terms of expression, it's who I am now.
How did you discover that you were actually meant to be male?
Well, growing up, a child is born, and when you're growing up, you're within a society that has a certain structure, yeah? And you see yourself basically fitting more in a certain box. I said I was female, but I was my expression.
Yo, my man asked you a straight up question, and I was about to say, you know what? She's actually doing all right. You know what I'm saying? She's holding her own, and then he asked a simple ass question about her. He said, "You." Then she starts talking about, a baby. A baby is born. Whoa, hold on, pump the brakes. The nigga asks you about you. How you open up when a baby is born, and then talking about society? No, when the hell did you realize that you were transgender? If you can't answer that question and be like, hey, when I was 11-year-old, I remember fondly, you know what I'm saying?
No, she literally brought up when I was younger. I just don't understand, why not just continue off of, did you not have a sense of when you were younger? Or are you just kind of just spitballing it oh yeah, I was younger at some point between, I don't know, 0 to 25? What is younger?
She was like, word salad.
Yeah,
word soup.
She just started going just
dreams that you had.
Bro, that's why I was like, my face is my way. I'm trying to change my face, but when she's talking, I'm just like, I'm just sorry. Oh man, I did it again, man. Just
I can't.
Get me out of here, yo.
I can't.
Get me out of here, yo.
When a baby is born,
when a baby has surfaced from the womb, there are societal factors that are pressed upon the child. The baby to lean on one side of the spectrum or not. And those sides are very binary in nature. But when you dissect and you extract and you extrapolate from these choices, one can find that they either conform or they do not.
Yeah.
And that is not where I fit in this mix. Wait, hold on. What is that? So then so you answered the court by not answering. Well, what the?
And again, I got
no.
no issue with that. The whole like when Pepe was like, "Hey, you know, they don't conform." I'm with that. That's cool. Hey, you could choose not to conform, but let's not turn into something else. Let's just leave it at that. Hey, this is the structure that is set up. I do not agree with it. I think because I wish I could quote you, Pepe, but I can't. So I think that I'm a man. All right, hey, you don't even have to explain that. Okay, you think you're a man. Oh, carry on. Live the rest of your goddamn life doing your thing, and you know, no one's gonna have an issue with you. I mean, don't get me wrong.
That stick is killing me right now. What are you doing?
I'm sure some. I'm
man.
sure. You know. Hey, I want to go back and address what I just said. I'm sure there are people. I'm positive there are people out there that even if Pepe was like, I'm just gonna live my life as a quote unquote man, to the best of my abilities. You know, just not harming anybody. And not even trying to promote it to others, just like, hey, living like that. I am more than sure that you're going to have people that don't like you for that choice. But I can assure you of something else. There's people that don't like people for choices less significant than that. Less significant than that. People don't like people because of the way they vote. People don't like people because of the way that they goddamn dress. People don't like people because of their religion or whether they choose to even not have a religion. People don't choose. People choose to not like me of just of what I say, without even actually fully hearing it. So hey, that's again my point. Don't try to make it seem like, oh well, you know, people do this to us. People do a lot of shit to a lot of people. Now, unless you have like mobs of people, like literally, like the whole town is outside of your house and you didn't do nothing to nobody, you just living. And they just happen to know that hey, that's a woman just transitioning into a man, whatever. And then you still got a mob of people outside your door. When you weren't trying to push that on anybody, then okay, then we can have a discussion. And you know what? Even me, myself, I'll be like, yo, y'all need to chill the fuck out. The nigga wasn't harming nobody. Right? Leave him alone. Leave him alone. But that's not what's happening over here. That we're taking it to the schools. We're taking the schools to the strip clubs.
Yeah. No, I mean, you know what it is? This speaks more. So I mean, I know we're getting into the video, guys. Don't worry. But it speaks to like this incessant need that America has, or sorry, a lot of Americans have on that need for acceptance, right, and inclusion, and of the opinions of others that aren't paying your bills. I'm sorry, that are not going to be impacting your life one little bit. There, as my co-host beautifully, gave you guys the truth bomb, right? That exists for everybody, all spectrums, all walks of life. You're not going to be liked by everybody. There are choices and there are consequences. If you choose to go down one path in your life, as a result, there's going to be a whole host of negative and positive repercussions. You can't have it both ways. This is the problem. A lot of you guys want to be able to make choices out here, and this doesn't even just lend to the LGBTQIA, XXY, and Z conversation. This goes into the far-reaching corners of every walk of life, right? You guys all want to be able to do whatever you want, say whatever you want. You want to live the way you want, and then at the end of the day, get all the cake and not eat, and not have any of the fucking stomach ache either. This shit's weird. This shit is weird. Nobody in the world subscribes to this except for the people in the West, right? And this is why you could see the deterioration of many structures within this society exist, because a lot of you guys do not know how to simply say, hey, fuck it. It's the life I want to lead, and hey, it's gonna come with some shit. Yeah. Instead, you say, "Oh, this shit. I'm not a fanny of this shit, and I want this shit to be eradicated. I want this shit to be canceled. I want this shit to stop opposing me on my views. I want this shit to stop always breaching its ugly face. And every single time I go to make some nonsensical argument that has no logical reason. So yes, I want them all gone. That is the state of America right now when it comes to these conversations and when it comes to our structures. And this is why all other corners of the earth are laughing at us. We are the richest, technically, we are the richest country in the world, and yet we are a laughingstock. I mean, come on now.
By choice.
This lady.
By choice.
By choice.
Yeah. I've chosen not to engage.
Doesn't that make you gay?
Here we go again.
What do you mean, doesn't that make me gay? I am male and attracted to a female.
So who is gay?
I described a gay person earlier.
Someone attracted to
the same sex.
To the same sex.
Yeah, mentally, emotionally, physically, sexually.
So as a human rights activist, what do you think of gays? Are they normal? Is it normal to be gay?
Oh shit!
Absolutely. I mean,
No.
most people. We had a chat a little earlier, and
The definition of normal is what is the when we're talking about the means, right? What bends to the means, right?
Yep,
And
yep.
this lifestyle, by no stretch of the imagination, lends to the mean whatsoever. There's in fact, though, you cannot call it normal. No matter how you feel about it, no matter how you want to normalize it, this word that cringes me, this is not normal.
Yes.
Okay.
agreed.
Yes, you guys exist. Yes, you guys are a part of the population, but that does not make the exception the rule.
Yeah, like for instance,
Jesus.
there's right-handed people and left-handed people. The majority of people are right-handed. Now, are we out here like, get cast your pitchforks and let's get all the left-handed people? No. But the reality is, right-handedness is normal. That's the reality. Okay? It's just facing the fact. More people naturally are right-handed. More people naturally are quote unquote straight. Not gay.
Yeah.
So and I will counter that notion that Pepe tried to just put forth with, if that were the case, if it were normal, we wouldn't have Bill Gates allegedly trying to do population control. There'd be no need.
Oh shit.
No, I'm serious. If gay was normal, meaning like, hey, that's like the mean, on at least at average and above, then our population would have to be half of what it is, at the very least.
Shit, we wouldn't even have this much of the population.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Pepe, you wouldn't even be alive.
Yeah. How would you be created?
Exactly. So let's like not. So that's where you get into the fallacies, where it's like you can just say people are just saying whatever the hell they want. They're not even fucking thinking about it. Hey, let's have the you want to have a conversation, Pepe? I respect you for going on the show, but what I don't respect is a few things. You saying that, hey, I'm a male. No, you're not. Males have XY chromosomes. You're not a male. Okay, now you think that you're a man. Or you want to be a man. I'll say you want to be a man. But you know what? You're not. I want to be 6'8" with guard skills. You know but I'm not. I'm not 6'8" with guard skills.
Oh,
right?
Shit. Oh,
not
nice.
6'1.5" with some decent ball handling skills and a decent post game. But outside of that, like the NBA is not knocking on my door. All right, no matter how much I wish it was. You know what I'm saying? No matter how much I wish it was. Like if I just said tomorrow, hey, you know what? My eyes aren't the color they're supposed to be. They're supposed to be green. Or like my father has hazel eyes. So what stopped me from tomorrow? Say, you know what? Hey, my eyes are the wrong color. They're supposed to be hazel. I truly believe it. I know what you see, but when I look at myself, I see my father's eyes. So now all my government documentation, I needed to read hazel. Well, come on.
Oh, where does it end, man? Where does it fucking end?
It doesn't end because the floodgates have been opened. The floodgates have been opened, my brother.
This is crazy. Craziness and madness. Hey, yo, what? Yo, this guy's crazy. All right.
Gay people are born.
Yeah, fast forward to my brother, man. Cause this chick she ain't doing it for me right now.
Because you
Pepe
don't
Le Pew.
realize yourself as
All right, this is where it's about to get real, guys.
changes in you.
Pepe needed a damn brush.
Yo.
But because of the structures of the society.
Another thing, why she wearing a suit?
Legally, Is there any legal justification for
Aaron, you're misgendering this individual, and I am not going to uphold this any longer. You must give this person their just credence and tell her.
Yeah, exactly. Look at you. Yeah, exactly. Pipe down with that nonsense, man.
My cape.
You don't believe that nonsense.
Let me take my cape off, man.
Yeah,
God damn.
Let's stop it.
God damn.
All right, let my brother speak.
Yeah, he came with the
told you I'm a human rights
Yeah, he put it right in the middle too. He was like,
I see Pastor Semp has come here. When I agreed to come to this show,
shit.
I spoke to you.
I'm sorry, it's just
He cannot just storm me. So if he storms in, I storm out. Thanks for your time. I cannot go on with this debate anymore.
Do you recognize this thing?
Pepe, I'm sorry. Can you give me a minute?
Pepe, do you recognize?
Yo, he did not just storm in. If he stormed in, I storm out.
I can storm out.
He said,
Do you recognize these things? Do you recognize these things? Do you recognize the cucumber? The cucumber. It is a cucumber. Do you recognize this? I know your brain has been frozen by the logic that you provided today, but do you recognize this vegetable that I lay before your feet?
Yeah.
Man. Yo, big ass, hey, yo, yeah, big as hell, no, holy, oh my god, yowzers.
That's how it's supposed to look when it's not mass produced, like what we getting over here.
Hey, yo,
it's that organic.
This is straight off the banana tree.
Bro, he was walking to the studio. He pulled it off.
Yeah, my mother used to say, "Yo, shaking like a banana tree," and that's what this person was doing when he entered the conversation. He was, oh man, I don't know what to call this person. This person saw this. He saw the pastor walking. He was like, "Oh no, this gonna left." No, he was saying that he was.
Oh shit! Here we go again.
I'm out of here. You storm in, I storm out. I storm out. Get me off this microphone. I don't have to engage with this individual. Let's see how this look at he can't even look at this face. He's like, yes.
He's cracking up.
He's like, yes, this is our time. You were talking all this nonsense for 40 minutes. Now it's time for the real show to begin.
Some of these things here. These are some of the things they use. I want to give you evidence. You see,
Pastor, aren't you being too harsh to these people?
No.
Why for once can't you relax and think about the pain they go through as society ostracizes them?
Ze carrot ze bakozesa okiwulira bakozesa carrot oyo omuwala gwolabye alowooza nti musajja. She thinks she's a man, but she does not have the equipment to be a man. So what do they do? To be able to try and penetrate the other person, they use carrots. Bakozesa carrot okiraba bakozesa amatooke.
I think you're being a little vulgar.
No. Bakozesa mbogoya.
I think you're being a little vulgar. Yeah, I'm fucking dead. This ninja, y'all didn't catch that. This, I believe, this is I think this is
Uganda.
Yeah, this is Uganda. So it's not my culture, but at the same time, it's kind of context clues. He's essentially saying, and I think this is probably why the person that exited stage left is definitely not a fan. She's saying that it's because they don't have the right equipment. They're over here sticking fruits and vegetables in each other. Because even this guy, look at his face. He's looking at him like, oh man, damn, that you just all that? Yeah, you didn't even put some lube on it. Like, God,
no lies detected.
Yowzers. So yeah, he just came in. Basically, guys, if you're for guys that are just joining us, he's saying everything that we've been saying over the last 40 minutes in a matter of just 2 minutes, flat. All right, with no lube whatsoever, no pun intended.
Yeah.
Bakozesa bino bichukamba. Nze mbadde mulago. I am a counselor for many years.
Yeah, you see this the level of disgust for me. Yeah, he is so. I love the passion, right? I don't care what you say about what he's saying. I love the fucking passion. Believe what you believe. Hey, she just because she doesn't have no damn passion behind what she's saying, don't mean that he can. All right, so say it with your chest, my good sir. My good sir, whip out the cucumber for the folks on the back. Wait, hold on. Yeah, no homo.
Cancel people like her. When I cancel them, I discover that they have problems. Some of the problems is when you use something like this. So when you use something like this and you put it inside you, you rip your urinary tract areas. When they put it inside, they're behind. Chris Mobiru.
But this is a disorder, right?
Oh, sorry. Just listen, guys. I'm not laughing because you know what I'm saying. It's not. It's. You guys have to understand. This is how, like, people in my family. This is how this conversation would take place. Like, they would have the. It's kind of like, you know, when you see Spanish people, they speak in English and Spanish. Like, this is how it would go. Like, they would have the cross section of the. I tell you, this is madness. It is a sickness. It is a sickness. No. If you want to ask me some question, you want to ask me a question. So that's why this is so funny, because I could just see like my family just going off, just like the table just going crazy at the round table. So sorry, forgive me, guys. I know I'm cracking up here. You know, it's really, oh man, this is pure gold, yo. Thank you, Aaron, for finding
If it's a disorder,
yes.
Do you feel you're handling it the right way?
Yes.
Or you're being too aggressive, too harsh on them?
No. You see, first of all, we have the good Bible that tells us, even the Quran tells us that this is
he's looking in the back.
Bible yakiita kibi. Era ne tubuulira nti mu mulembe ogujja waliwo abagenda okuvaayo ng'ate bekubaki beepika ate nga beeteekamu ki amaanyi. Kati omuwala omanyi ssente z'alina. Omuwala oyo alina ssente empya n'enkadde. Bw'ogenda ku Facebook ye, bali mu kunywa emyenge, bali mu kulya, bali mu pate, tebakoowa. Nze kambabuulire ate ekira tuyira n'olugendo mu Luganda ewaffe. Nze ndi musajja Muganda. Nti ow'ebbango bw'otamuwemuki.
Because I know a lot of y'all are going to be.
Kati bajja wano ne batandika okwambaza. Laba ayambadde obugoye obulungi. Owulidde? Ayambadde obugoye obulungi, ayambadde olaba omuwala.
Oh, she's back. I mean,
naye ate kubanga Mukama yamutonda muwala ki mulungi mutunuulire. Kyana. Naye ate yeefuula omusajja.
His claim is he's biologically fated to be a woman.
Kakati, what makes him?
I'm glad Pepe is back.
I'm glad she has got.
Can you
say he's confused.
Of course. How are you, Pepe? Musaba Mukama amaanyi go gayingira omwana wa Ford.
Pastor, no.
Kamusabire ko Rwanda yakala.
No. Pastor.
He's reaching on him. He's reaching. Oh, shit. He had to assert his dominance real quick. He was like, no. You're not going. You should not be tasked here. I'm going to give you the good book. He's got the book in his hand, and he's got the good thing. He's like, I'm telling you, hey, may God be with you. May God be with you in your childish deeds. Oh my God, I love this guy. Sorry, do you have anything before I continue?
No, continue.
Let's maintain civility on the show. Let's maintain civility. Let's maintain civility. Pastor Semper argues that these are the instruments you use.
These are vegetables.
Yes.
I eat this on my plate.
You eat them on your plate?
Yes.
You don't use them when you're having carnal knowledge?
Absolutely no, and Semper should stop misinforming the public.
Kati onalimba. Me, I'm a counselor. I've counseled many of these. First of all, they start in secondary school.
Why don't you start with counseling other than being confrontational to this young man?
This one is an evangelist. This is a missionary of Sodomy.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Ono muminsane yakulembera ekibondo kyabwe. Era gamba Uganda Africa Sodomy Association ono ya kitendera bayina budget ya milioni ya namunya
Yeah, Sodomy Association.
Can you justify that? Just a second. Can you justify? Let me give him a chance to respond. Pepe.
He was like,
yeah, I'm hungry. I'm hungry. Yo. I have not eaten. I've been waiting in the back of the studio. I must eat. I must eat now. I must fetter my appetite. Talking to this wench. I don't know what he or she is talking about.
Just translate what
Pepe,
stuff he's saying.
You are paid heavily to
saying?
promote homosexuality in you.
I guess he's speaking different languages.
No, because he said a number of a different.
Yeah, but I thought they spoke the same language though.
No, I'm saying I don't know if that's the case of, because I think he said a lot of interesting things, and I guess he's trying to what's it called, like what's the word, trying to give it in a way where it's like, okay, yeah, he's saying she's part of the Sodomy Association. He's like, now he's asking,
so you're saying she understood what he said, she just didn't understand why he was saying it.
I think he's giving her a different perspective. I may be wrong, but I think he's giving her a different perspective on like sort of the question that he's broaching right now, but by the comment he's making. So he's asking her to justify some of the things that he's bringing up.
What's your reaction?
It is not true. He claims I have a lot of money, I'm wearing fancy clothes and all that stuff.
Fancy clothes. Guys, yeah, while my co-host takes a break, like, share. If you guys are enjoying this, if you're enjoying this content, if you've made it all the way to this 51-minute mark, take the time out to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the Truth Media Podcast. We are definitely... No, you're all good. We are indebted to you guys. You guys are the reason why we love doing what we do. And we have reached 21 subscribers. So I think we've blown at least by 6 over the last month or so, and which is, a beautiful thing. And I definitely appreciate you guys. We're trying our goal before the new year. What we're looking to do is get to 40, right? If we can get to 40, that will more than double our subscriber count before the new year ends. Before the year ends, and that'll be a blessing onto itself. So thank you guys again. Like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We definitely appreciate your feedback.
I do not even earn the amount of money he thinks. I do not even earn $100 a month or even annually. I do not make the money that he thinks that we make. I'm talking
just a second,
talking about promotion of homosexuality, recruitment, and all those things. They do not exist. It's just the pastors and his group, their propaganda. To stop debate like this.
Yes. Do you believe that there's been sexual abuse in this country?
My man, stop eating.
Propagated by yourselves as human rights promoters. This guy does human rights promoters.
Just ask the question again.
Do you believe that there's been sexual abuse, actually sodomy, unleashed towards kids, towards underage children, and towards the vulnerable?
Propagated by my work.
Yes.
There is no such thing.
What's your work? What's your work? What does your work entail?
It entails advocacy around sexual orientation and gender identity. And this includes making sure that people...
But I thought you were a human rights activist.
That's what I thought.
Like, we're just going to keep coming back to that, because it's like, if that's your work, that doesn't really sound like, the work for all the humans. And let's be real, Uganda... that is not exactly a heavenly place. So there's a lot of
human rights activists in Uganda.
Yeah, there's a lot that can be worked on.
Human rights that you can
like issues that are happening, like what I'm saying. I think you could be focusing on
running water, jobs.
Yeah, so I think you calling yourself a human rights activist is a little bit, it's a little on the head. I think you should have just called yourself a gay rights activist.
But hey, I'm happy you brought that up. So I'll explain how that happens. Because that's a great point. This is how it happens. that whole feminism, that whole liberalism, Marxism, communism, it all is all the same tree. Just literally different branch. Actually, it's all the same branch. It's different twigs off the damn branch. So what happens with that stuff is they get people from the outside us, colonizers, and they come in and say, hey, you don't have to live like this. You should be equal to everybody. It starts with the Marxism. You should be equal. The people that live on the top of the hill, you should be equal to them. You know, because you're the hard worker. They don't work hard. They just run the business. You are the worker. And then people adopt that mindset. And then from there they say, hey, as a woman, it's the same thing. That man, you are equal to that man. You keep the house. He just goes to work. And then from there, now you have these women say, and these women say, oh, well, then I don't need a man. I can be with a woman. I can be a man. And now you have transgenderism. You see how that all goes? Linearly? It's all from the same branch, man. That's why when I say it all the time, people are like, oh, you know, tinfoil hats, everything's Marxist. No, it's not. But when you like people that get upset and outraged when I say that, I guarantee you none of them have ever read the Communist Manifesto. So how the hell would you know what the hell Marxism was? And the shit, it ain't even like the shit's like this. It's a pamphlet. No, it's not an easy read. I'll tell you that. It's like what 14 pages, I think, but it's not an easy read. You got to know what the hell they're talking about, all in context to literally like to be able to digest everything. Why it was said, who wrote it, when did he write it? You know, you got to do your actual research. Don't just read something. No, who wrote it? Find out about that person. Find out about the time that person lived. What did that person do around that time? All of that stuff. And then when you do that, you'll be able to identify things. That's why, like, look at this person in Uganda. In Uganda, this person has the audacity to go on a panel of men, and should be lucky that they had enough, you know, respect, if you will, to not just be like,
off with your head.
Like for the disrespect. And also when Pepe said, I'm a man. Like, no.
Maybe that's why. Yeah, that's definitely probably why this pastor is he ain't holding no punches.
I like what he said about that whole like evangelist. I've never heard that before until now, but I agree with it. That's what basically it is. Like they're like missionaries. The missionaries going around spreading this.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. Yeah, he said evangelist missionary.
Yeah, but I never heard that analogy used with it before. You know, that's why I think it's very you know.
No, it goes back to what you were saying about the with regards to the initial spreading of Marxism, right? Like you're going in the streets, and then you see, like, when you watch like Robin Hood, or you watch even when you watch like a movie that tells with the times in Israel and things of that nature, you'll see a dude, right? You'll see a crowd gather, and then you'll see that person standing on a box or a stone or whatever. And they're like, you know, and that's usually the people that have like the dirt all over them, and they're the downtrodden, and the ones that are going through all the hell and dealing. They're like, what do you deserve? You don't deserve this. You don't deserve that. This is not the life that's needs for you. No, it's because of the rich. The rich are taking from you. Blah blah blah. And then all the talking points that you mentioned, like and so essentially that's what evangelism comes back into, right? It's this sensationalized sort of Broadway show way of telling stories, right? To be able to get you to feel in your bones, right? To be able to invoke some sense of spiritual connection into the nonsense that they're spitting. So this is that point about, you know, evangelism. Definitely, my first thought was just like these guys, you know, sitting on a pulpit and then just talking to a group of people that are the ugly betties that are, you know, that are gay, you know, the ones that feel like the outcasts, the ones that feel like they don't have a place. And then they basically, you know, they it's like a siren alarm. And then as a result, you know, women are, you know, let's be real, women are like herd. So they'll flock to, you know, to communal movements. You know, as long as it sounds good to their ears, right, and it gets their emotions going. So that's why these types of movements are so easy to perpetuate.
That people access.
We got a couple more minutes of this video. I know we're reaching the hour mark.
Access,
so we just want to give you a little bit more of this interview, and then we'll close it out.
Ugandans, we advocate for every person to be treated the same, not because I am a transgender person, you treat me differently. We're all Ugandans and we are protected.
Do you need counseling?
The Constitution. I do not need counseling.
Okay, Sebo, let me help you, sir.
I do not need counseling.
I'm glad she's talking about for everyone. No, it's a she. You see, this one is a banana.
Don't abuse someone's
sex. I know her.
This gentleman is a transgender.
She's a female. There are no two. It is either male or female. Let me first tell you, sodomy is about confusion. Now, I want to bring you to speed. This person is confused, and she's exporting her confusion. She's a woman, but she's thinking, excuse me, Phil, I've given you a chance. You see, a banana is different from a cucumber.
So this is like one of those tactics, right? This is the one, like if you watch, like when they know that they, really don't have a leg to stand on when it comes to a debate, right? When they're actually giving you when they're giving you a talking point, that when you give them a talking point that they can't even they can't adhere to, right? Because as me and my co-hosts have said, like this person quite clearly is, to our eyes, a she, right? And him, she's using the low-hanging fruit to now take the moral high ground and to say, well, I don't want to have this conversation because you keep insulting me. When in all actuality, if she was really confident in her being, all she would all this person would say is that I'm a he. Like, to me, I'm a me. Like, I believe I'm a he, so that's all that matters to me.
And not
so that's where that's the low hanging fruit she's trying to use to escape the argument.
But the thing is too, that we don't do, that maybe we should do, is that, as you just said, which is 100 correct, say to them, hey, well, I'm offended that you're saying that you're a man. So then, hey, the conversation ends. We don't have to go any further, because it is offensive when I hear a woman say that she's a man. It's offensive when I hear on the Mother's Day, not Mother's Day, Father's Day, all the mothers trying to get all this extra attention and credit and shit like that, basically for their poor decisions. And again, I'm not the one to hold women up to their decisions, because they're not, that's not who I go to. If I want to have a conversation, if I go out to eat and I have an issue, I want to talk to the fucking owner, or at the very least the manager. I'm not trying to talk to the goddamn server. You know what I'm saying? So if there's anything going on, I'm not going to go to the house and say, where's the woman of the house? You know what I'm saying? Where the fuck's your father at? Where the nigga that owns his house? And that's how we're going to discuss it. I'm not going seeking for a fucking woman. And again, that's not to be misogynist. It's just that is not, what the hell do I have to do with a woman that is not my own and not my mother or a part of my family? What the hell do we have to talk about? So back to this point, like Q Fusion was saying, it's the okie doke. Guys, we got to be able to identify the okie doke when we see it. Hey, you come with them with like the rationale, like, hey, this and this, and then when they don't have anything to say, because they know their talking points, they know who they can go up against and who they can't. That's why Pepe left the first time. I don't know why Pepe came back. And now at this very moment, Pepe's finding out where like the bar graph or fucking around and finding out meets somewhere right here. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So let's get through this one, because the night's kind of young, man. I think we can give some more content to the people.
All right, cool. Do you want so you're saying finish out this video?
Yeah, I mean, play like another 2 minutes, see what happens, and then like wrap it up. All right. No pun intended.
A carrot is different from a banana. I want you to understand. You cannot equate. These are not equal. So for you to say we are advocating for everyone's right, when you are a sodomite, you are committing a crime. and a crime that makes you social. Excuse me.
They have a right.
No. You have a social obligation. This is a truth.
Hold on.
You have a social obligation when you commit.
The mediator said they have a right. I'm curious to know what that right is. Like, what is?
Yeah, I didn't even hear him. I mean, the pastor was going so ham. I didn't even hear him.
Yeah, he interjected and said they have a right. Okay, I'm not saying that they don't have rights, but again, where does their right? Like, look. If you want to label me anything politically, the closest thing that you could possibly say is like libertarian. Libertarian, because basically, I understand that we live in modern day Babylon. People are going to do and what the hell they want to do. You know, literally, Nike tells people to literally just do it. So, you know, I'm not going to stress myself out on like what other people are doing. You know, I need to focus on what I'm doing, and you know, honoring me, you know, myself, my family, my friends, my ancestors, obviously the Most High. You know what I'm saying, and living out, you know, and basically abiding by the commandments to the best of my ability. So when you say rights, that's fine and dandy, but the rights should be the same that I have, that Q Fusion has, that every person has, right? But we have to keep in mind something that I used to say a lot. I haven't said it that much lately. Equality doesn't exist. So there's never going to be equal. Because actually, in essence, if you really wanted to boil it down, equal doesn't mean equal. Because if I were to treat everyone in my family equal, which would be the same from my perspective, would not be the same from their perspective. If I were to treat everyone in my family equal, meaning, right, you guys would say, treat all of them the same. That's what equal means. I argue there's no such thing as equal. If I were to do that, from my perspective, I can say I treated everyone the same, which is equal. And from their perspective, they will look and say, he's not treating us equal. Because equal to that person isn't going to be equal to the next person. Because the way that I choose to treat everyone on a baseline may appease some and may disrespect others. So if I was going to treat everyone equal, I would have to treat them differently. Because equal doesn't exist.
Well said, good sir.
Commit a crime. If you knock someone, you commit a crime. So for you to come and say, we want to advocate for anyone's right, criminals and innocent people, they are not the same. Men and women are not the same.
Now, Pastor, so have you been affected by what they do?
Of course.
How?
I am at Makerere. These people have begun several organizations. First of all, the Americans and the Europeans are putting a lot of money in the faculty of law to train people like this one in how to come and speak. Now she's going to go back and ask for money. Again, I follow you ardently on your Facebook. I follow you ardently.
Thank you.
So I'm not uninformed. This one is part of Sexual Minorities Uganda. Part of their groups, when they get pregnant, they chase them away. I've been counseling about 5 girls who, because when the lesbians get pregnant, then they come and tell me what is going on. Their life is full of misery. Pate after pate. She can never have children.
You love what you do, don't you?
I absolutely love my work, yes.
Of course,
and you're protected by the Constitution.
Yes, I am protected by the Constitution.
Where's the constitutional provision that promotes homosexuality in this country?
I told you it's not homosexuality.
What is
I
it?
do human rights. Protect life.
And there it is. There it is.
I think we can wrap it up on that one.
Yep. And there it is, guys. When all truth be told, man. That's how they get you. That's how they get you. The okie doke is clear, man. Like Marco said, you have to be able to identify when the bullshit and the math just ain't mathin'. Right? So, with that being said, let's give our final thoughts on this episode. I'll leave it to you.
Hey, like I said, look, If the math ain't mathing right, you ain't in math class. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, y'all, I like the perspective that this little segment offered because it's definitely a totally different culture from ours. But it's also more, if you would, like, it's closer to the mean. You know what I'm saying? We over here are further from it. They're closer to it. Right. And what happens when people see stuff like that, especially over here, they'll say, "Oh, well, they're misogynists, they're bigots, they're transphobes, and all this other stuff." We have to, you know what, get to a point where it's okay for people to say whatever they want, especially when it comes to like labeling, because if you're gonna mislabel me as a misogynist, but then have the arrogance or the gall to get upset with me when I misgender you, then we're just at an impasse. Then we're at an impasse because there comes a certain point where, you know, like I as a quote unquote human being, you could respect other people and like what they're going through, like their quote unquote plight, right? But when does yours override mine? You know, and for them, I think, well, not I think, I know that the like, for instance, with BLM, and I'm using BLM because it's from the same tree. So stay with me on that one. It's from the same tree. So BLM, they say, "Oh yeah, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter." Like when Colin Kaepernick was kneeling, right? And I said this in a podcast video a couple years ago with Q Fusion on what was then the Moss Media podcast. And this is probably on Spotify, actually, to this day. And I said, Colin Kaepernick, he didn't have any solutions. He said he was going to kneel for like police violence and all that other stuff. So that means, motherfucker, you're never going to stand up. Because there's always going to be quote unquote police violence. So that means that you don't have like a solution. You don't have an answer. You're just you're an activist. You're not an activist. You're acting. And these people, they're all acting. When they come across something that they're unfamiliar with, what they do, they go right back to what they were trained. BLM, they have said it. There's videos. I mean, I'm not sure if they're still up, but they've said it. We are trained Marxists. That's from their mouth. They said it. They're telling you what the hell they are. But the question is, who trained them? Who trained these people? The pastor said the Europeans and the Americans came over here and trained her. And when she's done here, she's going to go and ask for money. He said, "I ardently follow your Facebook page, so I'm not uninformed." That's what. But if you allow the narrative to be drawn, it's going to be, oh, crazy conservative African pastor berates transgender woman and disrespects her or him, or I should say, and all this other stuff, right? So on this podcast, on this whole network, it's about the truth. And you know, my co-host jokes a lot about us being canceled. It's not even, it's half joking, half serious, because he knows just as well as I know. Like, this channel is not going to be long for YouTube. You know, we're going to have to venture out to other platforms, maybe like Patreon or like Vimeo, where we can have like our true subscribers, people that truly understand what's going on, come with us. Yeah, there's going to be a fee involved, but you're not going to be able to get this on YouTube. Right now, we have 21 subscribers. Wait till we get 100. Wait till we get 1,000. On my channel, I have 300, and I already got a strike. You only get 3. You only get 3. So if you just average that out, by the time I get to 1,000, my channel will be done. So right now, I'm in the process of trying to figure out how to, like, how you say it, like, backload my videos, like store them somewhere,
like on the USB.
Yeah, because it's going to happen, and the same thing's going to happen here, because there's an assault on the truth. Don't go for the fancy quote unquote words of misogyny, bigotry, all that stuff. Look at all the ad hominems. That's what they are. Those are ad hominems. If you don't know what ad hominem is, look it up. But that's what it is. Fight for the truth. I mean, if you need help finding the truth, like, share, and subscribe to this video. Check out all our stuff. Check out Q Fusion Reacts. Check out Double A Hef. Check out our we got Spotify. We got Apple, was it iTunes or was it
Apple Podcasts?
Apple Podcasts. There we go. And then there's other podcasts too that were on there. I don't even know the name of them platforms, but I know we're out there. But that's all I got to say on that.
All right. Yeah. With that being said, my co-host dropped down. And so this is quite frankly, this is one of those episodes. Yeah. I mean, I found it was incredibly funny. It was something that, I think that, I think you guys will definitely be able to chuckle out of, but also I do want you guys to take a look at the undertones, take a look at the tactics that are utilized throughout portions of this conversation, because while this was, again, like I said at the top of the hour, 3 years ago that this was taken, or at least this is 3 years ago that the video was released of this interview, the same types of tactics, the same shaming language, the same type of running that takes place during the course of these conversations took place then as that's taking now, right? So whenever you expose someone to the logic and the truth behind the truth, right? Not one faction of the truth, not another faction, but the actual unequivocal truth, it's very clear to see, who's got a leg to stand on. And quite frankly, Pepe definitely has none, right? So so to close this out, right, I want you guys to check us out on our on Spotify. We are on all different platforms for podcasts. We are on Anchor. Anchor does a beautiful job of being able to siphon us out to many different platforms, like my co-host mentioned, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. I think there's a Google podcast forum that's out there. I'm actually looking at it now to see just which other ones, just in case while you're driving. There's Overcast. We are on Pocket Cast. We are on Radio Public. Okay, so we are everywhere. Sorry, Google has, Google Podcasts. That is actual thing. Which goes to show you that, we are everywhere and anywhere that you need to be able to hear us. Just don't put us on too loud, because we do not want you guys to lose out on your jobs, right? Because we do say some controversial things, right? So thank you guys. Yeah, so thank you guys for taking the time to listen and have fun with us tonight. We look forward to seeing you guys soon. Peace.
Shadow on the truck. Let's get it. I'm a rock star type nigga, fucks bad bitches.